Vous comprenez bien qu'une telle attitude ne peut être acceptée dans notre établissement.
A nice disturbance. We find this daughter rushing to the nursing home to find her father's been kicked out of the facility. They're on their way out the door when screaming comes from the common room. People have gathered to witness what seems to be a grandson begging for his grandmother to remember him. Using dance, what I can assume is the movement in which they had shared a love for together. In the end, you kind of catch this glimpse of happiness. So it goes to set a reminder for this incident, for this family, that this situation might not necessarily be the worst thing for them to actually kind of enjoy the moments that they still have together. This moment is a reminder to cherish something before it's lost. Love in one of the most purest forms, in my opinion. I know what it's like to be that grandchild, and the way that that emotion is expressed in the choreography is just bravo.
So I just watched Out of Time. I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was very well done, very emotional. I would say the filmmaking in this piece is of a very high quality. It's photographed with really excellent clarity. The music just fits perfectly. It all feels very sort of naturalistic and cohesive. There's a quality of the filmmaking here that just feels very subtle and sort of finessed. I also love the story that this film tells. It's extremely moving and emotional. I thought it was really touching and heartfelt, and it feels very vulnerable. Yeah, overall, I thought this was a very well done, very engaging film.
Out of Time, interesting film, very touching in the end. I like the idea of having Felix and Mommy just there, and basically you don't know what's going on until the very end, and then in the end, boom, you got the twist, you got the revelation, and now you understand what was Felix trying to do, which is is a very important subject. I'm pretty sure in this film we're talking about the Alzheimer and how music and old memories can trigger the patient and make him or her remember something. And I love the idea of using the music as a mean to get Mommy to just remember who she used to be. And that was a very touching moment, and there was never a boring bit. The whole thing was well developed and constructed until the touching end, so congratulations.
Hey, I'm commenting on the short film Out of Time. I think that this is working pretty well as, I guess I kind of read it as a meditation on you know, how artists use their art forms to communicate and build bridges and, you know, reach out to people they might not otherwise be able to connect with. I was totally not expecting an interpretive dance to, you know, sort of come out of this piece based on where we started. And I do think that there is a little bit of a disconnect between, you know, this meeting with the retirement home manager and then the dance sequence. But I didn't think it was, you know, like too serious. It was just a little bit of a surprise for, I guess, the dance segment to begin. But that being said, I think that the message that I'm getting from the film is really working for me. And I think that, yeah, I think it really culminates in a nice ending, and I enjoyed the piece. Well done.
Out of Time. Such a beautiful, beautiful story. I like how the filmmakers developed this story. There was a lot of misdirection in the beginning, where you think that they're leading you down one path and then all of a sudden it twists into something else. And I think that that's very smart storytelling. I liked that a lot. Beautiful music. I think that the dance choreography was amazing. I think that the dancer did such an incredible job. All of the acting was just wonderful. It really, really was. And the story was so tender. It was so tender. It was so sweet. This definitely tugged on my heartstrings. Yeah, I loved it.
Out of Time. I really enjoyed this touching piece. Alzheimer's and dementia affects so many of us, and it was good to see this in film. There's tension built right off the bat with Mrs. Leclerc, and she's got to make a dramatic decision. You find out it's her son who's trying to engage his grandmother to remember him, and you feel at any moment he's going to be dragged out by security, but he begins to dance for his grandmother. And eventually, after time, she recalls or recognizes who he is, and the smile on her face and their engagement was wonderful. So I think the filmmaker wants us to know just spending the time and not shutting our people away that are affected into hospitals and centers is important, and I really appreciate that. Thank you.